Hello, welcome to Lemon Studios, where we talk movies, television, and wrestling. I'm, of course, the Lemon himself, Zeke Lemon, and this is my review for Project Hail Mary. But before we get into that, let's get the house clean out of the way. Show them to leave a like. Comment below, let me know your thoughts on Project Hail Mary, and of course, hit that subscribe button that helps me grow into my YouTube career. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, all that out of the way, let's get into it, shall we? So I was really looking forward to this movie. I read the book. It's been quite some time, so as, we were preparing for this movie, I was thinking about either rereading it because I don't fully remember everything. I remember the bits and pieces of the book, of course, but this was borderline almost experiencing the story for the first time again, which is always a big plus when you're going in to see an adaptation of something that you truly enjoyed in its original adaptation. That might actually become the norm moving forward. There are some, because sometimes when there's something I have done, I either reread it or I replay it, if it's a video game, TV show, whatever kind of adaptation. This kind of experience was a real special one for me. It also helps that the movie is absolutely great. We're not going to stand on ceremony here. I thought this was an absolute ball at the theater. My only criticism of it, but this could also be due to how my day was when I went to go see it. I typically, get home, walk the dog, and all of that before I go see the movie. I was so booked preparing to go see this movie. I didn't have a chance to wind down going home, I look forward to walking this little guy. Because it helps, ease me down, right? So I didn't have that opportunity. Don't worry, he was still able to go on his walk. But I did not have that opportunity. It was just go, 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 go. And then I get to the theater, you get a little bit agitated. You just want to go home. So I say that to say my only real criticism of the film was that it did feel long. But I don't know if that is due to me just going, and we're just kind of ready to go home at certain points, or not. Or just because, yes, the movie is about 2 hours and 30 minutes long, and you do feel all 2 hours and 30 minutes. Would I have necessarily cut anything? No, I don't think so. I enjoyed everything that we saw in here. I liked a lot of, the figuring each other out between Grace and Rocky. Them trying to figure out how to communicate with each other, figuring out if, they're a friend or a foe. Them, everything, the whole entire mission, all of that. I liked how we really took our time to really live in it. Now, I can see some people being a little frustrated by that because I've had these conversations with people in the past before where it's just like, well, I know what's going to happen, so let's just get to it. Let's just go. Keep that up tempo, especially in the day and age that we are in, where our attention spans are, much shorter than they were in the past. So I could see a studio, I could see other people, I could see other creators, and I could see other people wanting this movie to go a little bit quicker. And I can see how that movie can go from 2 hours and 30 to maybe 2 hours, or maybe even less. But again, to really let them breathe and everything that they did, seeing how they got to the project, because this is all from Grace's point of view, and it's not linear, so it's going back and forth on okay, so here's what he is trying to remember. And as he's starting to gather memories from his past, because he doesn't remember anything when he first wakes up on the ship, you go back and you start to learn what he remembers. And, it really gives you an insight to him. Ryan Gosling plays him absolutely amazingly. This might be my favorite performance of his ever. I would have to really sit there and think on that. But, truly, there's other actors in here, right? There's Rocky, which I heard was an actual puppet, which is also really cool to see. And Rocky is a great character as well. He was actually making me miss my puppy quite a bit too, because he's a rock, and the way he's walking, there's a scene where he comes into the ship and he's super excited, and it just really reminded me of my dog quite a bit. And I was just like, man, I can't wait to get home and hug up with him and take him on a little night walk. So there was that. Rocky was great, but again, this is truly Ryan Gosling's movie. I don't think there's a scene in this film where he is not present in it whatsoever, and if there is, it's a brief second, which I do recall that from the book too. I believe it's in first person because we never cut away from his POV. Yeah, I do believe that. But yeah, I thought this was a really solid adaptation. Again, it does feel a little bit long, but I will probably need to watch it again to see if I do truly feel that way. Maybe it's within towards the ending, because I really didn't feel it until we got to the third act. Because there is a bunch of could have been endings. There was ones like, okay, well, yep, this is it. This is how it's going to end. Oh, no, we're still going. Okay, now, but again, it's all about that we're breathing in it. Like, you could tell the movie is wrapping up, but we are going to we're going to really sit in these moments for us to really feel something. And it worked. I mean, there were some scenes later on in the film where, some things happen, and I hear a little bit of sniffles throughout the whole entire theater, because again, they're letting us sit in it. They're letting get that 1% doubt of going through, as my dog is currently eating his breakfast, if you are hearing him take his bites. But I really did appreciate that, is basically what I'm trying to say. Like, yes, the movie does feel long, but I don't think you get the same impact when you get to the end, that satisfaction, if we're not sitting in it for as long as we are. It's also not a whole lot of action in the movie. There are, I mean, I guess we can call them action sequences, but if you are someone, if you're going to the theater, which I do think this is a theatrical experience, because this movie is just genuinely funny, like just within its personality, like there's just a lot of situations where, yeah, that would actually happen, and that would actually be organically funny. Like, it's not trying to set up jokes by any means. It's like, here's the situation, here's what happens. That's pretty funny, right? Yeah, that's exactly how it came out to be. But yeah, due to the length, though, I do think it's not quite my favorite film of the year, just because, again, the pacing, and no pun intended or anything, but you do feel some dead space every once in a while. But again, I would much rather have that than a very quick cut-in movie where some things just get really felt left on the chopping room floor. But again, I can understand that frustration if you were to have that. If I had to rank this on a lemon scale, sour lemon at the bottom, bad movie. Expired store-bought lemonade, bad movie, but hey, there is some strengths to it. Expired store-bought lemonade, bad movie, but hey, there's some good to it. Store-bought lemonade, very good, but there are quite a bit of problems. Lemonade, it's a movie. It's fine. Freshly squeezed lemonade, very good. Minor nitpicks, and then strawberry lemonade at the very top, because it's the best kind of lemonade. To me, Project Hail Mary is freshly squeezed lemonade, and also it could flirt with strawberry, very much so, probably on a second viewing. I actually do have that second viewing on Sundays when I plan on going. I got Ready or Not 2 on Saturday, and then we got a Project Hail Mary round 2 on Sunday, because I got a pretty open weekend. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Project Hail Mary. Again, a hell of a good time, organically funny. Ryan Gosling's great in the movie. The Rocky character is going to want to make you hug up your pet afterwards. Great chemistry, great script, beautifully shot on screen. If you can see this in IMAX, I highly recommend it, because it just really pops and it just really comes at you. You really do feel like you're in space with him. But yeah, I highly recommend. For me, I think it's a great time at the theater, especially if you're in a full crowd, even if there's not a whole lot of action in the film. But yeah, comment below, let me know your thoughts on Project Hail Mary. Leave a like if you made it this far within a review. I do greatly appreciate it. And hit that subscribe button, as I am trying to grow into my YouTube career. And don't forget to squeeze the days, guys, because life is too short not to give your all. So squeeze every opportunity that you can. Until next time, I'll see you here at Lemon Studios.